Well met. Welcome to the next episode of the Westgate Irregulars, starring the Dungeon Scrawlers. Some of them are here, some of them are elsewhere. I am Eric Scott to be the usual DM of this campaign. We are short and Aaron and short a Randy. Randy's on vacation. Aaron
Also
was taken
Steven.
away. And Steven is lurking somewhere.
Steven is there. He just got too high of a Tsetseliya check.
Yeah. Aaron was taken away by the Golden Raven, so we got these three.
And I found the sponsor thing.
Excellent. So check out the Discord for talk about my Westgate campaign guide. I'm still collecting art and interest in working on the book. So if you are interested in contributing, check out the Discord. And on that note, take it away, Rhiannon.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy as Rhiannon Held and space opera as RZ Held. And tonight I'm playing Aaron because I'm going to give you our information about our sponsor.
Woo.
Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels, which is what Aaron would say because those are her novels. They're great. Try them out. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. There is a platinum, some chest code, Electrum chest code that you can get by typing the wherever it is code into the chat.
Into the doobly-doo.
Yep. And let us know if you find anything cool.
And this week is Liar's Night, where you can get Brig Hellclaw. I keep wanting to call him Brig Hellraiser for some reason, but he is a bard / rogue. Hi, I'm Yang Wang. I am a writer and a filmmaker, and I play Stong Bakguk, the barrel-chested, barrel-wearing, very hairy heir, the Murder Bear tribe.
Marlino, I play Sturge, an arcane trickster diviner.
Hi, I'm Emily Tang. I play Caliph Amakir, an Avarial necromancer with commitment issues. Disclaimer, all thoughts and opinions expressed in this stream are my own and do not represent Wizards of the Coast.
Awesome. Well, with you intrepid foursome, here we go. So we're going to start back in the material world. Well, the real realms that you all came from. So Sturge and Caliph, you are in a circle with Skaha. Ruan comes right over to you, having reassumed his elven form, and says, "I'm coming too." And Skaha looks at him, and he says, "I'm not arguing. My Rogar's over there. He might need my help." And Skaha says, "I thought you were going to say something about your sisters." He says, "Them too."
Boo.
But they can take care of themselves.
Okay.
Rogar, he's a mess. And Skaha's like, I don't want to, I'm not going to argue. So she takes people's hands and starts casting her spell. And assuming you don't do anything to disrupt things, looking at Steven. Steven?
No.
Steven? Okay. You find yourselves moving through time and space. You fall backward and then find yourselves floating through planes of existence beyond your understanding or experience. You've traveled through the planes before, but never quite this directly, never quite this in such a controlled manner. Of course, the control is not yours, and so you are still buffeted about and take unexpected turns, and sometimes you're flying quickly and sometimes you're floating slowly. You're not really sure exactly how it's all going until you reach just kind of a inky void. And Skaha is kind of looking around this inky void, and you see a silvery light just kind of streaking toward you as you're going through this void. And Ruin suddenly perks up and goes, Rogar! And he just lets go of your hands and just disappears into the void, going, falling down toward that streak. Now that Ruin has broken the circle, your movement becomes chaotic and wild, and you find yourself spiraling through the void. I'm gonna need each of you to make either an athletics check to just hold on really hard, or an acrobatics check to just kind of lock yourself in there.
I didn't need a reason to dislike him anymore, but I dislike him even. Yes, poor fellow.
8.
20.
Nice.
Okay. Sturge, with your massive acrobatics check, you far exceeded the DC. You see Kayla start, her grip slips free of Skaha's and she starts to fall away. Would you like to grab Kayla's?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it a dexterity check or?
I'm going to need you to make each of you can roll a dexterity saving throw. And if one of you succeeds, then you caught Caleb.
All up to you.
This is like advantage for a single check, but you're both making it, right?
Still all up to you.
I got a 16.
All right, you managed to catch Caleb. And the three of you are flying and falling, and Skaha is cursing, and the veil parts, and you find yourselves crashing down onto cobblestones.
Ah, what a lovely landing.
I will put you on this map here. Okay. Yes, Sturge, you look around, and you find yourself in a familiar locale. The darkened, dilapidated streets of Darkness Westgate. And no sooner do you start looking around than you also hear the sounds of battle very near you to the northwest on the map.
Right. This can only mean one thing, I think. We are probably needed. Remember, all of our friends here, Tsetseliya, Artemisia, etc., have no resilience here. They will, if touched, if hurt, disappear back to Westgate, or rather, our Westgate. So it's rather important, especially that Lazar fellow, that he not take any harm, that he be protected. Otherwise, all of them will vanish and go back to regular Westgate. Not that that would be a terrible thing, but it would throw a wrench into the mission of rescuing Sorshin.
Okay, and what I'm going to need is I'm going to need everyone to roll an initiative check, please.
On roll 20.
Yep. I would have kept the initiative from before, but I seem to have cleared it out, so you could just repeat the process.
Click on your character first.
Click on your character first.
I don't know that my character is on this map because she's up on the
No,
dreadnought.
she's not. Again, you could just, if you roll, I'll put it in for you.
Okay.
I cannot click on Caleb.
You can't?
Well, maybe
You
I
can't.
something weird is
Hold
going
on.
on.
It's because it's just not programmed properly. There we go. You should be able to do it now. I will go ahead and put in that 22 though, because that's pretty amazing.
And mine was the 13.
Okay.
There we go. See?
I almost put in 132 for me. That would have been pretty
Dang,
cool.
that is quite the initiative.
That's the Bronze Devil's initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. I'm gonna do some other initiatives those as well.
Good for them or good for us?
Ooh.
Well, some of them are NPCs who are on your side, and some of them are
Oh.
definitely not. So, yes. So there are several NPCs. Don't worry, their actions will be mostly narrative actions.
Every time I see the DM rolling like a bunch of dice, I get really nervous.
You should. I mean, don't. Hey, it's fine.
Muppets and friendship, Eric.
Muppets.
Muppets learning friendship
Yeah.
lesson.
It's been a long week for some people, and they could use some Muppets and friendship.
I'll settle for not dying. That's all I want.
Oh, well, gee. I mean, you got to make it hard. Okay. All right. So, the first thing that happens is Artemis goes, and she is going to cast a spell of some kind. Stong, you feel your body just kind of like there's this tingling sensation that
Oh, no,
sweeps
not
all
again.
through you.
Mhm.
And it comes none too soon because Sorrow is about to attack you again. But before she can, Caliph, it's your turn.
Are there any recognizable sounds coming from the battle?
Stong, what are you saying/singing during battle?
I'm yelling for the kids to stay away or run away.
You do hear Stong's voice, Caliph.
Okay, just gonna come to the corner and peek around first to get a lay of the land.
Okay. So you weren't here last time, I believe, or you haven't. Okay, you were here, but your character wasn't here. So this is what you see. So this is a darkened version of Westgate. The buildings are broken down, burned, collapsed. Down this hallway, down this corridor, you see this massive chain that reaches up, clanking into the sky. There is a red-bearded dwarf who looks kind of like Rogar, who is deep in focus, casting a spell. Next to him is this androgynous, red-haired creature person who is obviously working magic, singing. You see a gigantic Stong right here, wrestling with a similarly gigantic woman of rippling muscle wearing a dragon skull as a mask.
Oh no.
And she is ranting and slavering and seems to be in some kind of rage.
Uh-oh.
And that's all you can clearly see from your angle.
All right, Caliph wants to try and pull out her sword, start singing, then fly over and slice the mask off of the creature's face.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
So, I don't know if it shows up on the. There we go.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's held in back by something, so she's gonna try and slice through that.
Well, the creature and Stong are basically grappling with each other at the moment.
Oh, so what part? Wait, so what part of the mask is Caliph able to hit or cut?
Oh,
or-
well, if you can fly, you can basically fly above her or land on her shoulders and then cut the mask.
Yep, we'll do that. Land on her shoulder and cut it then.
Did you roll?
17.
17. Let's see. 17 is not going to inflict any actual harm to her, but it does hit the mask. And this big chip comes out of the mask. Go ahead and roll damage. You wouldn't be damaging her, but you could damage the mask.
5.
5 damage?
I'm going off of memory here because I can't open up my character sheet on D&D Beyond right now.
Yes.
So I just rolled the dice and went with that.
Okay. Sure enough, you chop this divot out of her mask, and beneath, she has this kind of grayish, pale grayish skin, and some kind of golden design on her head, which is kind of elongated, more bestial. And you realize that that is the Raging Sorrow, albeit mutated into something monstrous.
What?
Yep. Okay, good. It is her turn, and she is going to attack Song. Stong is about to... Okay, let's see. So I'm guessing... Oh yeah, there are multiple attacks. So, okay, so those all look bad. However, you have that spell in effect on you, so... Those are all still bad. Okay, so does a
normal AC of 19.
okay. All right, so this okay, she tries to punch at you, but the protective spell makes her just kind of unlucky and clumsy, and she misses you and then thrashes around and ends up punching at Caliph instead. I'm gonna assume a 30 hits Caliph.
Wow.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Caliph, you take 16 bludgeoning damage. And then she just kind of flips over and thrashes and then kicks at you. Does a 28 hit Caliph?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to make a DC. Well, I won't tell you what the DC is. I'm gonna need you to make a strength saving throw, please. You take a further 23 damage.
A 3?
Bludgeoning damage. 23. And then you got a 3 on your save?
Yep.
Okay. Well, she boots you far away. Well, maybe not super far away, but she knocks you over this away, and you land sprawling on the chain. It doesn't do any further damage to you. The damage that I just told you is the damage that you take from your little short flight.
Well, there's someone between me and her now.
Yeah.
Get him, Stop.
And now that you are on this chain, you see this this woman standing in the alley, pointing this curved bone sword at you. Her clothes are kind of like, half of them look normal, like dark leather armor, and half of them look withered and tattered and scuffed. And she has half of a mask on. The part that's exposed is just the skull of a face, not an actual face. And she is looking at the group and now looking at you because you just appeared in her line of sight. So
She look at all familiar.
make an insight check.
Man, 6.
She seems vaguely familiar to you, but not like you don't immediately identify her or anything.
Kayla's just gonna shout, make up your mind. Just choose one.
Okay. She launches a barrage of magic missiles at you. And this is going to be 5 magic missiles for a total of 17 force damage.
Kayla is regretting jumping into action in the first place.
I thought she might. Okay, the red bearded dwarf is continuing on his spell, and he says, almost have it. Sturge, your turn. Kayla flew off into battle. Remember, this map is not sized properly, so each of these squares is 5 feet, not 10 feet. So that's 40 feet, not 80 feet. If you're speaking, Stephen, I can't hear you.
Hey, that's the bingo square.
That's a bingo square. I'm going to Sturge is going to look at the spear witch and say, what is the signal for retreat back to regular Westgate, and do I need to be with you when that happens? Or can you summon me back with you when you decide to go?
She does not answer your question. Instead, she is starting to chant the words of a spell.
Yeah, great. Right. Okay. Well, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do then. Sturge is going to, he likes to kind of flank people, so he's going to go 80, and he's going to use his extra, boogie, his extra bonus action to go. I think that's so he would have normally 90. Is that correct? 90. Mm-hmm.
Did you hear my explanation about the distances?
Yes. So I have to double it,
Okay,
right?
I think I fixed it actually.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, normally you can move 30, and then if you take your dash action, you can move another 30, and if you take another dash action as your standard action, then you can move a total of 90.
When I'm here, do I see anyone?
You see a bank of mist.
Okay. But I hear probably sounds coming from that direction.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a battle going on in this direction.
All right, I will get to. Actually, from here, I'm going to go spider climb up.
Okay. Yep. Now you're up on the roof.
And can I see over the crest of that roof anything?
You can see that there's a battle going on over here between Stong and Sorrow. Like, you can see just the top of their thrashing pile.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see Leithaka over here, perched on this far roof. And she seems to be shouting, but not making any sound.
I don't see any enemies over this way, or
No.
okay. All right,
You can't see anything over with that angle of the roof.
is this a roof or a hole in a roof right here?
This is a roof. It's
Okay.
it's a very damaged, weakened roof,
Got it.
but it is a roof.
Okay. So next round, I could peek over the edge, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank
Stong,
you.
somehow, wrestling with Sorrow, you have not been hurt.
Is she actually grappling me?
She is actually grappling you, yeah.
Did we ever make a contested check, or is this some special grapple?
I don't recall if we did, but now seems like a good time to do that if you want to try and get out of her grapple.
Yeah, it's just that it never happened initially, and normally I'd have to use my action to do it. And like, if that's the case and she's already latched onto me, I'm gonna do something different.
She has already latched onto you, yes.
Okay, so following Kayla's, following her example, he wants to like look at her mask, and I think he wants to also try to break it.
Okay.
So he's going to use 2 of his attacks directly onto the mask. Ooh, first attack is I guess technically that would be an 11 since I still have my death penalty.
Yeah, well, it would be a natural 1.
Yes. Okay, so the second one, he's going to use an unarmed strike. That's going to be a 19.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 11 points of bludgeoning damage to the mask.
Okay. Yeah, you put a major crack in that mask.
And because I use the Tavern Brawler strike for my bonus action, I want to shove her to the ground.
Okay.
So here we're going to have to make a contested check.
Okay.
Enlarge gives me advantage. Ugh, which I'm definitely going to need. Because I just rolled a 3 and a 2. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So that's going to be a 16.
Okay. Oof.
That's good. You rolled badly.
Yes, come on.
Also,
I rolled a
she
2 and a
does-
3. She rolls a 4.
She does have a modifier. Let's see.
Oh, that's
Nope,
good.
nope, you pulled it off.
Nice.
Sweet.
You dislodge yourself
And shove
her
her.
to the ground.
Whoa, her to the ground.
Yep, knocking her
Okay.
prone.
Yep.
Sorry.
What's the mask made of, by the way?
Sorry, what?
What is the mask made of?
The mask that she's wearing?
Yeah,
Bone of some kind?
dang it.
The mask that the woman down the alley is wearing is also made of bone of some kind. So
Shay
it's a
Darksong
different kind
points
of
out that mask has more hit points than a peasant.
Well, it is dragon bone, so yeah, you'd think. All right. Meanwhile, up on the astral dreadnoughts,
Ruh-roh.
Tsetseliya has vanished along with the wolf version of Sarshan, and the Golden Raven basically shrugged and said, "Yes, let's do," and then they all disappeared together, leaving Artemisia right here, and Mirabelle, and Skaha, and Lazar, and the Pegasus. It looks more nightmarish by the session. Facing off with these 3 witches. Artemisia blasted one of the witches. This one, the Witch of Disgust, very hard, and she is quite injured. The lightning arc to the Witch of Despair, who dodged out of the way. It hurt the Witch of Dementation, but she used Absorb Elements, got some of the lightning back, shot it forth, hit Rogar, Rogar vanished. And that brings us to where we are now. So, Artemisia, these 3 witches are there. Your friends have engaged with them, but this one is looking at you with just an abject disgust in her expression.
Ah, man. Okay.
She's
Well-
sighting her longbow at you.
So she's gonna tell Mitzi to go fly to Lazar, Mitzi being her Tressum familiar, for those new in the chat, and be ready to scratch him,
Okay,
because that's within her telepathic communication range.
sure,
So-
sure.
And I believe that she still has her telekinesis spell going, because that's how
Yes.
she rolls. So okay.
Yes, you do.
So she's gonna be like floating, not super high up, but enough so that she's maneuverable.
Okay, we don't technically have a Mitzi token, but I found this cat, which
It's a very sort of cat-like cat.
It's a very cat-like cat. And it's going to fly over here.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
So Skaha can take care of herself. So Artemisia is going to fly. So are the squares correct now, or?
I think these ones are correct.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know why the other ones ended up as 10-foot squares. It's very strange. Anyway, I fixed it.
She's going to fly over to Mirabelle. And
There's that witch right there, by the way. Just making sure you know.
yeah, well, I mean, here, we'll do that instead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's up in the air. She's out of reach. No,
I'm adjacent to you. What do you want? All right.
Because she's got the sort of protective spell. And what does she have left? She's got one lightning bolt.
I believe Artemisia recovered a spell slot thanks to
Oh.
Daza's contribution.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
Well, then.
I mean, if you're gonna tell me that I got another chain lightning,
I
then-
was just checking the chat and I'm like, dang it, Daza, why?
She's
Very
gonna bust out with the chain lightning again, because there's 3 of them and they're all within range. So she's gonna center it on the one by Mirabelle.
This one.
Yes, and then gonna hit the other 2.
All right.
And I'm just checking my number of dice.
As a reminder, the Witch of Despair dresses all in black fighting leather armor, has a red scarf that she wears around her neck, and has a like an actor's mask with a frowny face, right? And long white hair. Oh dang. Okay.
Nice.
So that's 54. If they don't make their
what's the save DC?
the save DC is 17.
17, okay. Let's see.
Here, I erased the thing on my chain lightning. I'm just gonna like put it back again to save the step.
And... Okay. Well, all right, so Despair and Disgust both made the save. So Despair evades the lightning again. But Disgust takes half damage, and Dementation takes full damage.
Nice.
So
Thanks, Daza.
that's good. She is going to do absorb elements again, so she takes somewhat less of the damage. Still a decent amount though. Jesus. Okay. Just do some quick math here.
Man, when we meet up with Artemisia again, we're gonna be like, hey, we rescued our witches from the mind control masks. What happened to the witches you were fighting?
Zap, 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 zap. Oh, nothing. Okay. All right. Next, we have the Skaha who's up here. All right, so Dementation over there looks fairly injured. Disgust looks very injured. Not quite down, but quite injured. Skaha is going to determine where she would be most helpful? Okay. This is what she does. She attacks Dementation right there with her green spear. Hits her. Just checking for proper amount of damage and stuff. Okay. And then she spins and hurls her spear at the woman who's pointing the bow at Artemisia. See if that's gonna hit. Probably, but let's just double check. Yeah, okay. Does hit.
Thanks, Mom, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. The spear impales the witch, kind of pinning her to the ground. And she says, "Stay away from my daughter." Okay, that witch gets to go next. Skaha has kind of screwed up her aim, and the spear is holding her pinned there. What she is going to do is she's going to start shrieking in pain because, god damn. And she reaches down. She reaches down to. Well, I mean, she got hit by 2 chain lightnings, and then she got the spear stuck in her. And she reaches down to grab it and pull it free, and her hands start hissing, and steam rises from them, and she shrieks again, and collapses, unconscious.
Oh, it's because I softened her up.
Yeah, it is. Skaha did like 12 points of damage to her, and you did like 70.
Like, you tenderize the meat, she just puts the skewer in.
There we go.
Right. Okay. Next is gonna be Lazar. What does Lazar do that's helpful? Okay, Lazar casts a spell. Actually, no. Lazar is looking around, trying to figure out where Tsetseliya went, and he's basically huddled behind the Pegasus, who is stamping its hoof unhappily. Like,
So you notice Mitzi standing there like,
let's see. Let's see how perceptive Lazar is. So, I mean, I do have, actual stat block for him, more or less. So let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, he sees Mitzi. He says, away from me, you thing. Get away. Get away. How can I help? How can I help? Yes, that's how he decides to be helpful. So he sees that, you've had not very much luck hitting this witch with dex stuff. So he is going to resort to Ye Old Faithful. And just this stream of magic missiles just comes soaring out of him. Zap, 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 zap. And Despair there takes a total of 31 force damage from all those magic missiles.
Magic missiles.
Okay, then it is going to be Mirabelle, and what she is going to do... she seizes on the opportunity that the magic missiles have provided her to to light her sword ablaze with another searing smite. She strikes out at the witch, driving her back and damaging her somewhat in the process. She looks up to Artemisia and she says, "What happened? Where did she go?
I wish I knew.
What do we do now?"
Get off of here, maybe.
All right. She kind of moves. You're floating up in the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. She moves to be just under Artemisia,
Okay.
and she's holding up her shield, ready to defend her if needed. Okay. And the witch over here. That's nasty. Clearly she should do that, right?
No.
Okay, so great. Good. Oh, perfect. Okay, so the witch over there, she steps back, staggering away from Scott, and she goes, "Hold on, 1 second. Hold on." And then this sphere appears around Skaha like a bubble of power. And
Can only bode well.
Your mom's in a cage.
and Skaha smashes her fist into the orb, but nothing happens. Oh, wrong thing.
See, if not for the fact that like she's sort of on our side, I feel like that side is enormously satisfying. Like seeing mom just sort of like beating her fist on some powerful spell.
Yep. And the witch says, "Oh, good. Now I can focus on what really matters: killing your daughter."
Ooh.
Skaha beats her fists on the orb again, to no avail. All right. Oh, all the initiatives are like real close to each other. That's very useful. Okay, down in the down below, it is Leithaka's turn. And she, Sturge, you can see this because you're still watching.
Mm-hmm.
She hops to this other rooftop, and somewhere around midway between the buildings, like she suddenly starts shouting as though like she had been shouting, but she just passed out of the area of silence. And she's shouting, "It's a trap! It's a trap! Oh, good! Everyone knows that! Ah!" She leaps over here, lands on the roof, and she looks at you, Sturge,
Mm-hmm.
like, "Which one are you?" And then turns and goes, "Wow, I hope this works." And she casts a spell, and you see this this whip. Her mage hand turns into this whip of power, and she swings it down at Sorrow there. That is not gonna do it, however. It wraps around. I think. Hold on. I think what's supposed to happen here is that Sorrow is supposed to make a saving throw. Let me just make sure I know how that's supposed to work. Leithaka goes, "Damn it, why did you teach me that spell?"
I think Stalin's gonna yell at her when she jumps above him, like, "I told you to run!"
Yep. Okay. What she did was she attempted to cast Thorn Whip on Sorrow, but and Sorrow is just too strong. Like the whip wraps around Sorrow, and then Leithaka goes, but to no avail. Okay, this I skip over somebody? I think I skipped over. Yeah, I think this switch I gave 2 turns or something. Ah, okay. Yeah, I need to rearrange initiatives a little bit here. Okay, and... Sorry, bear with me for 1 second.
The DM is calculating ways to destroy us.
Oh yeah, clearly. Clearly.
Very small numbers don't need much math. You should
So
go.
let's get that back into the correct order. And then it is this Gaha's turn. She does something, but none of you can actually see what she's doing. So move on to Artemis. Artemis, she casts that spell on Stong again. And she says, I don't know, can't you just, choke her out or something? Okay, and that makes it Kayla's turn. Let me scroll down the turn order because it got all messed up.
How is the mask attached? Like, could Kayla try and rip it off, or does it?
Okay,
have to be-
you have to specify which witch are you talking about?
Which is which?
The big one.
The big one? It seems to be mostly molded to her face.
Jeez.
What about the other one?
You can't really tell how it's attached, but probably similar. Yeah, you think if you got up close with the, you could pull it off, or you could damage it, break it off. If you struck her particularly hard, for instance, and it was particularly dramatically appropriate,
Is it like, are the edges molded onto her face?
The whole thing fits onto the contours of her. I feel like we're going over this in a little bit too much detail.
Right.
It's hard to tell.
I want to know if Caleb can like get in there, stick her sword under the edge of the mask, and then leverage it off.
Yes, you definitely could.
All right, Caleb's gonna do that.
I mean, it might rip her face off. You don't know.
Oh god.
As long as the mask comes off too, though.
Yeah. Right?
All right, that's what Caleb is gonna try and do with her puny strength.
All right, you're going to
Who
get in
needs a
there.
face anyway?
Yeah, who
Okay.
needs a face?
You-
No, we
okay,
saved
so
her.
you
Look, we
engage
saved
you
her.
engage the witch in a sword fight.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and attack and stuff.
That was actually good. 19.
Nice.
That's kind of funny how I put that. I'm like, yeah, attack and stuff. Okay. Do you have multiple attacks? I think you do. Oh, you're not a blade singer anymore, technically. You're a necromancer.
She's got like the Dead Blade Singer song
I-
going.
Yeah. You just don't have the extra attack feature anymore. Okay, 19. Yes, that does hit. Go ahead and give me some damage.
Seven?
Say that again.
7?
7 damage.
I really can't remember what her sword does, so I'm just rolling a dice and adding what I last remember her modifier to be. So
Hold on. Let me see if I can just look this up for you. I probably can. All right.
D&D Beyond is being really weird right now.
You know, I have like 7 D&D Beyond tabs open right now, and it seems to be working okay. So let's see. Caliph. Okay. Rapier of Life Stealing.
Ooh.
Okay. So basically, When you attack a creature with this magic weapon and roll a 20 on the attack roll, the target takes an extra 10 necrotic damage. If it isn't a construct or an undead, you also gain 10 temporary hit points. This woman that you're fighting is undead, though.
Oh, okay.
Your attack modifier here is +6, and your damage is 1d8 +2. It's not the most ideal of weapons for you, but, you know, it's fine. You were specifically aiming for her mask, though. So you get in there, you kind of like cut her face slightly, and you do catch the edge of the mask, and her face jerks away from you, and the mask goes flying and shatters against the nearby wall.
What was under the mask?
Well, she looks back up to you, and you see that the side of her face that was covered by the mask, like the side of her face that was revealed was just this like skull, this kind of finely chiseled skull. And then the side of the face that was covered by the mask is a pale, gaunt, zombified version of your face.
What did you say this one's name was again?
A Witch of Dread. Okay, the Witch of Devastation. So, I
Face
think,
off. literally.
Yeah. So, are you still grappling with her,
No,
or did
face
your
off.
prone effect shed the grapple?
No, it doesn't shed the grapple, I don't think.
All right, so you're still wrestling with her, and she says, just like the old days.
Yes, remember the old days. When we
Not
were
like that, you
friends.
dolt. Anyway, she just it doesn't. It just seems very difficult to reach her. Okay.
Remember the old
one
days.
attack.
We were once kind of friends.
So she's aiming one fist like right toward your face, but it just, you know, she just mistimes it and it just goes right past you.
Nice.
I think a 20 is gonna hit you though.
Ooh, 20 is definitely gonna hit me. My AC is a
Okay.
19.
Okay. Cool. And did it not calculate any damage? Okay. All right. Oof. Okay. Stung, you take 24 bludgeoning damage.
Right.
Just punches you right in the nose. You do not, however, disappear.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh,
you're
they're
both
Slightly bad.
like she's looking at you like haha, and you're looking at yourself like, huh? Huh?
I feel myself.
Oh, was our time up?
And then she tries to kick you.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, she has disadvantage to attacks on you. Yeah, 23 is still gonna hit you though.
Oh yeah.
26 bludgeoning damage, and I need you to make a strength save, please.
How much damage?
26.
26. Okay. Strength save 19.
19. All right, you are also knocked prone.
Okay.
Oh, they're lying down in the street together.
Yeah, they're basically lying down in the street together.
This is so sweet. I don't want to interrupt this. Orc love.
This is how half orc become friends.
Yes, her clawed hoof is now perched on top of you, like holding you down to the street. And she says, "You won't escape so easily." All right, up in the alley.
Should she be using it to like stroke him while she does that? You would escape.
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah, well. Anyway, the witch in the alley looks up at Caliph, and it is like looking in a very, very dark, very unsettling mirror. And she turns her head like farther than she should be able to, cracking her neck bones. And then she attacks you with the sword.
Is this like the ghost of Christmas future for Caleb?
I mean, that fine etching on the bone is quite nice, but oh my gosh, the other half?
Does 18 hit Caleb? Let me see. I'm the one who has Caleb open. I should know this.
Wait, so you like
Caleb's
the...
armor class is 16.
With the blade song going, should be higher.
Okay, with the blade sound going, I believe that misses you. Okay. Well, Caleb seems to have distracted the Witch of Dread. They're now having this existential showdown. Okay, the dwarf, he goes, I got it. I think I got it. And like the stone starts to part and break up, and the chain.
Oh,
He's like, oh, not quite. Keep them going for a little bit longer. Sturge, your turn.
All right. Sturge, contrary to what he said a moment ago, is going to break up this love tryst over here. He's going to tiptoe across the roof by Lathaka and say, give her a wink and say, watch this, kid. Meet Mr. Shadow Whippy. And he's going to draw
That
forth
is not anything you want to say to a kid ever.
a shadow version of Mr. Whippy.
Hey, kid, let me see. Let me show you something.
Yeah. Mr. Shadow Whippy.
Okay.
And he's
Okay.
going to plunge over the edge, falling downward with an acrobatic move, and strike the mask on Raging Sorrow.
Okay.
He has, because there are shadows here, he has advantage on this strike. He's casting Shadow Whippy at level 4. So it's going to be a very neat little weapon. Let's see.
Are you saying you cast the actual Shadow Blade spell?
It's called Shadow Whippy. Yes.
I get you. I get you. Shadow Whippy it is, yeah.
And I have created the 4th level Shadow Whippy. There it is. At advantage. Let's see what that look like. So you hit, that's a 20.
I mean, yeah, you do have advantage.
Okay, so it's 15 plus.
Yeah, that does hit.
30 damage to the mask. Smack!
Nice.
Okay. Sure enough, her mask does indeed shatter.
Now he's going to disengage, roll away. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Over here.
Okay.
And he's going to stand like a magician that's just performed a trick, with his arms out like this, and watch carefully to see what her reaction is.
Which is it's kind of funny because that the Shadow Blade, Shadow Whippy, right, does psychic damage rather than actual like piercing damage.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
So you kind of stab it into the mask, and not only does it make the mask shatter, it also stabs right into her head.
oh.
That ought to wake her up.
And she starts shrieking in pain and terror and rage, which I mean is not all that different from what was going on before, but she's obviously
so
much
what
more
we
hurt
were
now.
saying, giving me shit about blasting them with
We're
lightning.
saving them. We're saving them.
Hey, a little bit of damage to get free of this mask? What? That's a good trade, huh?
Stong, it is your turn. You're still here.
Yeah.
You still feel like yourself.
Okay. So, how damaged does this mask?
Oh, it's completely shattered.
Okay.
She doesn't have a mask anymore.
Ah, I see. Does she
It's
look
just her.
distracted?
It's just her bulbous, like, bestial face. She looks more like a. She looks more like a minotaur than a
Ew.
tiefling.
What the
Okay. Well,
Like her feet have become hooves, and her hands have these massive claws, and her horns have twisted around and are now pointing forward.
I think Stong is he's happy to see her mass is shattered, and he sees that the chain is like wriggling behind him. So he's gonna actually turn around, and I think he thinks that Sturge has got this. So even though he's prone on the ground while she's holding him, he's gonna take the chain into his hands, like the part that he can grab, and he's gonna try to lift it from the ground as he rises.
Deadlift. Deadlift.
Deadlift.
All right, make an athletics check, please.
Okay, so I calculated this because I am like enlarged. So in total, I could lift like 1,440 pounds. So let's see, get advantage. 25.
Ooh.
Well, with the chain having been weakened by the stone shape that Rickon has been doing up there, he's like, the dwarf is like, I got it. Oh, I don't got it. And you're like, let me help, kid. You just tear it out of the ground, and it comes with this 15-foot spike that's just been stabbing into the ground, and you just lift it and rip it out of the ground entirely.
Yeah, as he's getting up, he like looks at Riggin and he's like, never skip leg day.
And you say that, and Riggin's like, yes, yes, Master Stong, yes. And then the chain goes taut, and the 15-foot spike basically just sails up into the sky along with the chain. Meanwhile, up above, Artemisia,
Yeah.
this doesn't affect you so much because you're floating there. But beneath you, the ground just starts moving upward, tilting.
Ruh-roh.
For no apparent
Yeah.
reason.
And Mirabelle goes, whoa. And Skaha doesn't move because she's inside that resilient sphere. But the witch jumps up on top of it. And then here's the situation. Mitzi telepathically says to you, oh, there he goes. And you see Lazar start sliding.
Oh.
And you see Mirabelle start sliding.
Oh man. Okay.
And this witch has leaped back from your lightning blast into the loving arms of this air elemental that your mom conjured. Did I say loving? I meant crushing. And is now struggling with the elemental. This witch is still pinned to the thing, so she's just kind of hanging there, just chilling, just hanging out. The Pegasus takes off, flaps a little wildly, and then flaps over this way. Or actually flaps over this way, away from that thing's horrendous fanged maw, which is what your sister's biological father and your best friend's daughter are sliding toward. What do you do?
Oh shoot. Okay. Because she was gonna be ready to have Mitzi scratch Lazar, but assuming that it works, which Rhiannon thinks it will not, but assuming that Artemisia thinks it will work, that would leave poor Mirabelle. So, I think what she's gonna do is she's going to float to Mirabelle and cast Dimension Door to take them both to the ground. Because she's got one dimension door left.
What's the range on Dimension Door again? Remind
I'm
me?
just looking that up. It's pretty far, 500 feet.
Okay,
so-
that's not quite going to reach the ground.
Shoot. Okay.
Can you get close
You
enough
can
to
get much
get
closer to
away
the
without
ground.
dying?
What about a roof? Is there a roof that's within 500 feet?
The dreadnought is 1,000 feet over the city,
Oh, okay.
Can you
and
cast
there aren't any
Dimension
buildings
Door
that are 500
twice?
feet tall.
Just like cast it once to get halfway down, then cast it again?
Well, I only got the one.
You can dimension door to the Pegasus and just drop her off or something.
That's true. Well, will the Pegasus stay still long enough for a portal to like open on its back?
Well, you know,
Pegasus has been acting a bit erratically, which is not usual for that spell.
I see. So basically, Stong's like telepathic link and control over it isn't working.
It's not working quite right.
I see.
Can you teleport 500 feet down to however far down the chain is? 500 feet down the chain, and then just sort of like slide and climb the rest of the way down.
Yeah.
Ooh, pull a Final Fantasy X and just slide down the chain.
Yeah.
And yes, I did say Final Fantasy X. All of you fans just start going nuts. All right.
I like the chain idea. Thank you. So she's going to go grab Mirabelle,
All right.
go to the chain, like as far down the chain as she can go, which won't be quite 500 because she'll be at a little bit of an angle. And then when they stepped out, that's when she gives mental command to Mitzi to scratch Lazar.
Great. Okay. First of all, I'm going to remind you of a couple of practicalities.
Okay.
Mirabelle is no longer a baby. She's a grown woman clad in plate armor. I'm going to need you to make a strength check, please. Yes.
Five.
Okay, so
Oh,
you have
no.
this brilliant plan laid out in your head.
Yeah.
You're gonna grab Mirabelle. You're gonna dimension door your way down to the chain. You're gonna slide down the chain. Mitzi's gonna scratch Lazar. You're probably gonna disappear. Mirabelle's gonna be on the chain. She's gonna be
Exactly.
fine. And then you grab Mirabelle and you're like, huh? And she just pulls you down toward the astral dreadnoughts, snapping jaws. The creature, having been partly freed, one of its chains coming loose, is rousing. And when it rouses, it realizes that the Golden Raven is not here to put it back to sleep. And it wakes up hungry. And both Lazar and Mirabelle slide down over its face toward its waiting jaws. Artemisia, I'm going to need you to roll an initiative check, please.
Okay. 14.
Okay, so you managed to grab Mirabelle and cast your spell just before its jaws can close on you. And as you're teleporting away, you see that it bites at Lazar.
Well, that's okay then, right?
Right? Right? Right?
You don't like it when the DM says it like that.
Lazar shrieks in terror and disappears into its mouth. And then you see blood pour forth from its jaws. Mitzi comes flying down, goes, whoop, flies off a different direction.
And we don't disappear.
No.
I see.
Can Mitzi see if he's like 100% toast, or is there any like getting him out of that mouth?
All right, well, let me describe what happens when you reappear here. So it's kind of funny. We actually have different tokens for the two different maps, but I'm just going to borrow the tokens from the Astral Dreadnought map because I like the diamond tokens better. Okay. Hold on. I did not entirely expect this, everybody, so it's just going to take me a second.
I'm also surprised that you saw like any amount of blood coming out of this giant Astral Dreadnought's mouth. Cause like, wouldn't Lazar just be like a tiny trickle, like the juiciest papa in all of this? They're all.
Have you ever bit into a grape, a grape tomato, like a really, really juicy one?
Yes.
Okay, so there you
I was
go.
thinking it'd be more like a jalapeno popper. It's like filled with
All right, you see yourself there, Rhiannon?
Yep.
All right, you and Mirabelle have appeared on the chain. The chain is basically taut. I know it looks all dangly right now. It's kind of swinging wildly. So I'm gonna need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
So at least it's not strength.
True.
Oh, and I roll better on that one.
Heyo.
So that's 19.
Okay. So you float out of the way of the chain. You're still floating. Mirabelle is on the chain as well, and she is going to. All right. Yeah, she continues sliding down the chain. She doesn't have the benefit of telekinesis, so she's like, "I'm fine, really." Okay. So then, I gotta add you back to the initiative tracker here. Just do that real fast. And give you your.
And then at some point, she's
Or
wanting to see.
maybe that's not accurate. Sorry, I might have written down the wrong number. Okay, yeah, it's like a 14 or something. That should
Yeah.
put you in the right order. Okay.
And she was trying to see or hear from Mitzi what Mitzi saw, because I guess she's too far to see through Mitzi's eyes. But
Well, how far does your telepathy with Mitzi extend?
100 feet.
100 feet. Yeah, you don't get anything from Mitzi.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see. All right, going down the list. Laithaka's turn. Laithaka jumps down here and lands on Stong's massive belly. It's particularly massive since Stong is particularly massive right now. Bounces and lands on the ground next to him. I mean, she's in your space, but she's quite a bit smaller than you. And what she is going to do is she is going to stab at Zaro with her sword. And I believe that is going to hit. Okay, and inflict a good deal of damage. She actually hits Sorrow in kind of a weak spot. Just like a rogue should. Yep, she and Sturge are basically flanking Sorrow at this point. Okay. This guy appears. flying over the battlefield on wings of frost and blood, which looks very similar to something that Tsetseliya might have done. And sees that, sees that Sorrow seems to be well in hand and is going to help Caliph. She says, "Where are my children?" As she blasts a series of Eldritch blasts at the Lich. So here we go. Looks like 2 of those will hit. One of those blasts pulls the Lich up into the air and kind of drops her back onto the rooftop here. And yeah, so now now she's up on the rooftop. Okay. That makes it Weird Pegasus's turn. So just sorry, bunch of moving parts in this particular battle. Did I skip somebody? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, Caliph, you get to go. So the witch is slightly above you at this point. Skaha has pulled her out of the alley.
Like, are you happy like that? Are you happy with what you got?
Her head turns basically, you know, much farther than it should, basically looking behind her, down at you. She says nothing.
Can you talk?
She says nothing.
Was it worth it?
Says nothing. What you gonna do?
I don't want to fight her anymore. I feel kind of... Caleb is like very conflicted about this. Like, I don't know if Caleb wants to fight her anymore. Is there someone else that Caleb can just happily hit instead, who doesn't make her feel complicated things?
Yeah.
Well, Stong is fighting with Sorrow, not too far away.
Sorrow, how are you doing? Is it okay if I stab her? Stong?
Oh, yeah.
Stab away.
Alright. Actually, oh wait, no, they're undead, aren't they?
Do what you must to free them from their suffering and enslavement.
Sorrow doesn't appear to be undead.
Okay, it was just the other Caleb.
The other Caliph appeared to be very undead.
Cool.
More than half undead.
Fly over, put my hands on her, and then vampiric touch.
Oh, okay. She's still prone, I believe, so you have advantage on this particular roll.
21.
21 will hit.
Sweet. Alright, that's a lot of d6.
Just trying to get through the initiative tracker. Get this in the right place. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll us some d6s, please.
Alright, that's going to be 33.
33. Let's Let's see. And it's necrotic damage. Yes.
Yep.
Well, she is not particularly strong against necrotic damage. All right, she takes 33 damage.
And Caleb gets 16 of that back.
Okay. Cool. Draining the life force out of her. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Look at you,
It is indeed her turn, and she just roars in fury
Oh wait.
and
Oh.
explodes upward in this burst of flame. I'm going to need everyone nearby, which is to say Sturge, Calith, Lathaka, Stong, to roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
12.
That's not going to do it.
Caleb is like, if only I remembered about this thing called turn order. 17.
Okay. 17 is going to succeed. 25 is obviously going to succeed. Sturge, do you have evasion at this point? Can't hear you, Stephen.
Wow, that's 2 of the same Migo
Yeah.
square.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. This is an evadable effect. All right.
Just go fireball on us?
Basically. Okay. 18 fire damage to Stong, 9 fire damage to Calith, and let's see if Lathaka does her save.
Stong's resistant to fire.
Yep.
Cool.
So, yeah, I guess only 9 to Stong then. Lathaka also makes her save. Lathaka also has evasion, so she just leaps out of the way. Sorrow bursts upward and lands on the roof up there. Anyone who successfully made that save, you can still make an opportunity attack on her if you want.
Interesting. Is that a sneak attack for me?
Well, you would be flanking her at the time, so yes. See, this
And-
is why you try and avoid provoking opportunity attacks from rogues. Just
Yeah, and he has advantage with the Shadow Blade in shadow.
well, that would hit.
Well, it's so sad to part this way. Okay, so 26 damage.
Okay. Let's see. Lathaka is going to take a swing. Oh, okay. Lathaka got a natural 1. Did not hit. Kayla, did you want to make a opportunity attack?
24.
24 is going to hit.
And she does get her extra d10 of life sapping. Yes? Wait, no, that's correct.
Did you roll a 20?
No,
Then you do not.
no, I was incorrect. That's going to be a 7.
7 points of damage.
Yep.
Well, Sorrow was leaping away to escape, but instead, between the two of you, you strike her down, and she goes down.
Alas. Poor Sorrow.
Good teamwork, Sturge.
High five.
Stong's gonna give you guys a thumbs up. Good job.
Okay. All right. Most of you are down in the alley at the moment. You can hear Skaha still chanting spells, and you hear crackling power upon this rooftop. Little flashes of light are bursting forth over the edge. Okay, we're essentially out of initiative right now. So
Is it a good time for a break? Then?
I think this is a good time for a break. So cue us up for 10 minutes. And when we get back, the reunion of the remaining irregulars and comparing notes about the astral dreadnought lurching to life above them.
Might have to pull out another chain, Stong.
Don't go away. The astral dreadnought still looms over the darkened city of Westgate, but the irregulars have come back together. We'll start with Artemisia. Artemisia, you are telekinetically flying over the city, avoiding that nasty chain that keeps swinging back and forth like a pendulum.
She's not going to completely abandon Mirabelle.
Yeah, you're watching Mirabelle, who is kind of sliding down the chain. Let me just look her up just briefly to see if she has anything that could be helpful to her in this situation.
I mean, she's got cure wounds, so if Mirabelle hits the sidewalk really hard, she can cast it. She can't really, her spell, she's low on spells, so there's not much she can do to help. I mean, also she's a sorcerer. She's got lightning and not too much else.
Let's see. Well, interestingly enough, Mirabelle is also part sorcerer. But not that kind of sorcerer.
No dragon scales.
She seems to have at some point managed a spell which is making her more dexterous.
Okay.
Or possibly stronger. It's hard to say, but she's climbing much better.
Good. Okay. Artemisia will hurry back to the others then.
She's making her way down the chain. Okay. You also see lights crackling from one of the rooftops. And as you get closer, you see that it is Skaha seeming to torture one of the witches with a series of magical blasts and spells, demanding, "Where are my daughters? Where?"
Is she visibly super different than the mother of rats, Skaha?
This one looks much more intense, and like there's a certain vitality to her that is missing in the older version of her.
Okay.
And the witch she is torturing is the undead version of Caliph, which you realize now because you can see her face. It looks like she's torturing Caliph for a second, except that Caliph is, half skeletal, and you traded spells with the Lich Witch before, and so you do recognize how she's appointed, but you didn't realize that it was Caliph's face beneath that mask.
Okay. Well, so I think that Artemisia, there's enough that isn't computing here, just at first, that she's going to get a little bit closer and start yelling at that Skaha. Hey, what are you? Oh, that's not Caliph. But how'd you get out of the spell? What'd you do? I'm right here.
She doesn't seem to notice you. She seems to be single-mindedly focused on what she's doing, which is witch bolting the Witch of Dread just over and over, just sustaining the spell, just like a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage, a little bit of damage, just palpitating it up.
Caliph does not feel good about this.
So are there any other of the witches?
Yeah, Caliph, if you want to intercede, that's totally cool too. You see the very large form of the Witch of Devastation with her mask on. She looks more like Sorrow than she did before. I mean, a Minotaur version of Sorrow, but still Sorrow. Lying there groaning on the ground, bleeding from many, many wounds. And Stong, how beat up is Stong exactly?
He's about halfway there to the grave again.
Okay, so Stong looks weary and hurt next to her, but
Hey,
he's
welcome,
not.
Raiders.
Hey, awesome. Good. So you're going to get advantage on some check that you're going to do with Skaha here. All right. Emily, you said Caliph was going to intervene. What's Caliph?
Yeah,
gonna
Caliph
do?
very much wants to intervene. Is this really necessary?
Skaha just doesn't answer you.
In that case, Artemisia is going to get close enough. Seeing as she's low on spells, she's going to drop back down to Lightning Lure, which is a cantrip. So she's got to be, let's see, fairly close, 15 feet, I think.
I'm gonna move the
And
chain because it's moved out of the way by now.
I was gonna
So
say,
we're out of
Stahl,
initiative order, right?
in the meantime, Stahl wanted to grab the other end of the chain because he knows that Mirabelle is falling from like his Pegasus, like telepathic link. So he saw like Artemisia and Mirabelle going down the chain, so he wants to try to anchor it so that they can actually slide
Oh.
towards him.
Okay.
He's gonna try to pull a Spider-Man and like grab one end of the chain and the other end try to grab something else. And he thinks it's
All right.
At the
sturdy,
ground.
like the ground,
Okay.
like a building
All right.
foundation.
Let's resolve this real fast. Go ahead and make me that athletics check.
Okay.
So you grab the chain. The chain swings back toward you. You grab it.
It'll be 29.
Yeah, you're holding on to it. You're holding it, and you're holding a building, and your muscles are bulging, and you're doing the Chris Evans, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I was thinking the Spider-Man one. Can't remember which if it's Spider-Man 2, but anyways.
I think you're a bit bulkier than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay,
You look
yeah,
more like
fair
the
enough.
Hulk trying to
True,
do
true.
that. And what happens is, like, you tear the roof off of the building that you were holding, and so you like run your arm down through one of the windows, and now you're like grasping it like this.
Hurry!
But you seem to be holding it for the moment. Okay, Artemisia, you have flown closer to Skaha. You see Caliph is now, well, now there are two Caliths. One, the Caliph you recognize, one that's the witch Caliph. And the Caliph you recognize is trying to get her to stop diplomatically for the moment.
Well,
So Artemisia
if she's
is-
not, we're not in initiative order anymore, right?
Right.
So if she's not stopping, he's gonna try and like physically stop her.
well, so Artemisia is going to Lightning Lure her, which is a big
Oh, we're-
splashy spell. But
So we both
Alright.
do that at the same time.
Well, I'm going to have you both roll initiative
Okay.
against each other.
oh, Caleb probably goes first. I got a 4.
11.
There you go.
All right, Caliph, you try and grab her.
Yeah, just like throw our arms around her and try and pin her arms down so she can't.
So that is going to be an opposed athletics check.
Oh, joy. 11.
11. Awesome. And I mean, her athletics is not super great either.
Yes.
Oh, all right. You did grab her.
Nice.
She seems really frosty cold, however. And you realize that she has also cast Armor of Agathis on herself.
Oh no.
So
Oh, bummer.
you take a bunch of cold damage.
Oh,
Great. No, that's good. It cools down all the burns I got earlier.
Yeah, that's
totally.
how that
running
works.
them under cold water.
That's one way to look at it.
Rhiannon, did you see you got an inspiration and a magical slot back from chat?
Oh, cool.
Hey, Armor of Gathis. Does 25 cold damage to Caliph.
It's cool. Still standing.
Okay. Your hands are starting to turn even paler than usual, and frost is creeping up your arms, but it's not all that painful, really.
Did it stop her from the other Caliph?
Which bolting?
She's still maintaining the witch bolt. She's like, stand aside. That creature is not you.
Could be.
Okay, Artemisia, do you think?
Okay, so lightning lure, 15 feet, throw it, strength saving throw from her, DC 17. And if she fails, then she gets pulled towards me and starts to take damage. But I'm
Strength saving throw, you say? That's not really her thing. Okay, yeah, you pull her toward you.
oh
Yeah,
okay.
so Skaha she looks at Caliph and she's like, "How dare you!" And then this lasso appears around her and just yanks her out of the way.
hey, enough
So
of
yeah,
that.
you yank her right next to you in the air.
Okay.
She does take that lightning damage, whatever it is, since she's
Okay.
now adjacent to you.
And I guess I get to add my. It's actually not so bad because it's a higher level. It goes up as I go up in level.
Yeah, that's right. It's one of those cantrips.
15.
So 15 damage. Okay. She is going to make a. Okay. She does technically make her con save to continue concentrating on the witch bolt, but she's distracted by Artemisia very angrily.
Enough.
What is that? Reverse yeeting her?
Yoink.
Yoinking
Nice.
her. There you go. Yoink. And she shows up and she looks at you. And she goes, huh. And she looks like she's going to like reach out toward you, but she stops herself. You survived then. Good.
Tell me what this other version of Caliph is doing right now. Is she looking?
You mean Lathaka?
Oh, that's like. Where's the other version of Caliph?
Well,
Oh,
the witch
Yeah.
version of Caliph is over here.
Okay.
Under many rings.
Well, now she's been
Christmas rings.
and she just collapses back onto the rooftop, kind of like moving jerkily.
Okay. Sturge is going to go join Stong
Okay.
and sort of guard him so nobody takes him out.
Storm's
Mirabelle
like,
comes sliding down the chain.
"Hey, Sturge, gotta enhance ability."
I could make it so you could see invisible things.
No, thanks.
Okay. I could give you a long stride while you run.
Past this time.
Well, I'm afraid I'm a bit low on everything else.
Look out! Look out! Mirabelle
Thanks
comes sliding
anyways.
down. Okay, Sturge and
Dexter.
Stong, I'm going to need you to both make dexterity saving throws. Stong, you have disadvantage because you're holding a giant chain.
You could let go though and catch her.
Yeah,
Good.
that's definitely what he would want to do.
You could do that, in which case you wouldn't have disadvantage.
Like 6.
21.
So, Sturge, you step gracefully out of the way, and Mirabelle lands right smack dab in the middle of Stong's chest. Stong lets go of the chain. The chain cuts through one of the buildings across the way and then off into the gloom.
As she hits him, Stong wants to hug her.
Yep. You hug her. You collapse through the building.
Mhm.
He wants to absorb all the damage possible.
Yep.
What a
And then into the middle of the building,
Awesome.
landing right onto what appears to have been a bar, which is now smashed. There are a few bottles up on the counter that on the racks. They start tottering.
We would love to see you pull another chain. I think that might do it for the beast.
Mirabelle's like, "Oh, hey, Dad."
Remember, not your actual dad.
Yeah, I know. She still hugs you.
Yeah,
But
I hug her
always-
back.
Yeah, go for that.
She says,
Welcome
"Oh,
back."
but you're hurt."
Oh, I've suffered worse.
Her hands start glowing, and she heals you for some of your damage.
Ston feels a moment of pride, and he's like, "Oh, you have such great healing ability now.
Yep, you healed 10 points of damage.
Amazing! Just incredible healing power. I'm
She says,
so
no,
impressed."
it's. I can't tell if you're being serious or critical.
Oh, incredibly serious.
Yeah, you're right. You are my dad. Anyway, she says, but I thought the spell wasn't supposed to. And then her eyes widen, and she's like, "Oh gods,
Oh gods?
that greasy wizard guy got eaten by the Astro Dreadnought."
Oh gods!
What do you oh godsing?
Stone goes out and he has to shout that at everybody.
Okay, Caleth, meanwhile, you're on the rooftop. The undead version of you is lying there, kind of like.
Like she's just
Like her limbs are kind of like bending back to be properly aligned. It
bending
looks
back like she's
painful
gonna
and awkward.
exorcist her way across the rooftop.
Maybe. Maybe.
What is the realm's symbol for "I come in peace" or "I want to be friends"? Do they have one?
Well, it kind of varies from place to place, but sort of a universal one is to hold your hands out with showing that you have no weapons, or
Right.
hold your hands out like this, showing that you have no weapons.
Gonna hold my hands out / up.
Okay.
The other.
Her head,
Is
looks
this
at you
gonna
with its one eye. Its cold, dead gray eye.
Oh, I should probably put my sword back first. All
Yeah,
right.
you're like, ha. Oh, ha. Okay. Yep.
Are you hurt? Which seems like a very stupid question the moment it leaves her mouth, but she asked it, so.
No response. Witch just stares at you.
Can you open your mouth and let me see if you have a tongue?
She does kind of like slowly and uncomfortably with a clicking of her jaw open her mouth.
Ew.
She does not seem to have a tongue, no.
Oh.
Oh, well, that would explain a couple things. Promise you won't attack us anymore, and we won't attack you. Just nod or shake your head. Not nod if you won't attack us anymore.
Yeah.
She made that kind of weird hissing sound. And then she looks at you very, very pointedly, and with one twisted limb points to her head and then to
No.
your head.
She wants you to dominate her.
Or do read thoughts.
Ah.
No,
Thoughts.
no,
All right.
domination, clearly.
Caleb has to check thoughts.
Okay. So, Detect Thoughts picks up the surface thoughts of everybody nearby within the area. So there's a lot of like worry and anxiety from below, a little bit of jubilation because, they did succeed in what you were attempting to do, which is great. As far as Riggan's concerned, great. There's some drama going on with the elf and half elf floating above you. But the witch is like this cold black spot in your detect thoughts, and you get a very clear thought from her that says, "Flee, flee before it is too late."
It's not helpful unless you can tell me what I'm fleeing from.
and you hear this rumble as of thunder above you, far above you in the sky. You look up. The dreadnought has now moved slightly, and it's pulling at its other 3 chains. Like they're restraining it still, but it's trying to pull itself free. And you see the other chains are kind of straining. And a nearby spike it's sort of like lifting out of the ground. And now that it has moved, you can see the moon above. Selune, the moon of Faerun and Toril, which is cracked down the middle. You can just see that there are like 2 chunks of moon and then a bunch of little pieces floating around it, as though something struck it and it blew up.
Bummer.
Not recently necessarily, but at some point. And you can see like this kind of hazy, overcast cloud cover starting to sweep in. And then the witch thinks to you, "It is too late. There is no return. Nowhere to return to." And then she just kind of jerks and collapses into dust.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a second.
Let this be a cautionary tale for you.
The dust swirls upward as if driven by its own breeze, and then disperses.
Oh, before it disperses, can Kid like grab a little in a container or something?
Do you have a little container in your hands? Okay. You catch some in your hands.
Anyone have like a bag or a vial?
Or a soul gem.
I mean, Artemisia's pretty busy, so if you hang on to it for a little bit, she can get back to you.
Okay, Artemisia, you and Skaha are either glaring at each other or arguing with each other, or what's happening exactly?
Okay, well, she is gonna like put them down on the street, and I assume she hears Stong yelling about like Lazar being eaten, and she's like, "Yeah, I know." So she's basically in like full Artemisia flood, and she's, I think, still operating on the assumption that this is the mother of rats, Skaha. So she's like, "Okay, so Lazar got eaten, but our time was up. But you said your magic could get Sergeant
Lazar
out of...
Dovaskaya?
Yes, that we came here with."
Well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer wizard.
Yeah, but he was supposed to get us out of here, so you were saying you could take Sarshan, but can you take all of us? Because, like, whatever Lazar...
Why would I take Sarshan anywhere? That
Wait.
fool has lured you here to your doom.
Wait,
Have you dispatched him? Where's Tsetseliya? She looks around.
You're the other one. My one?
What do you mean?
Okay, so this is a version of Westgate, right? And there's versions of us, or there were. Some of us are dead, some of us are evil. And there's a version of you who is much more helpful. Just saying off the bat here.
I was wondering why my spell didn't seem to take me anywhere.
But this Westgate is like, it's all, this is nothing like our Westgate.
Yeah,
All
it's
cities
totally
are
different.
terrible, burned, wretched hives of scum and villainy. You should leave this place as soon as possible.
Yeah, I like her better. Maybe I'm gonna go find her. She's more helpful. So Tsetseliya, we're here to rescue Sarshan and Tsetseliya. The Golden Raven grabbed her, and so I don't know where the 3 of them are, and I don't know what we can do about that. But the other Skaha had magic that maybe could get us out of here, so I'm gonna go find her.
This Skaha can get us out of here. She got me here.
Oh, whoa, okay. Yeah, you guys are here now.
But wait, we don't have Tsetseliya. We don't know where Tsetseliya is.
Right.
I see. So now that I'm useful to you, Artemisia.
Okay.
No, I agree. This is very sensible. We should leave this place, but we should find your sister first.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
we should find her, but not you. Right, Artemisia?
You are much larger than when I last saw you, Stong Makuk.
The food here is very good.
Yeah.
Do not think that even at your engorged state, you could stand between me and my daughter.
No
Stone
one's
just
Once
looks at
in her
Artemisia.
Freudian spear at you.
No one is standing between you and your daughter.
Okay, so Artemisia's gonna turn to Skaha and she's like, I got something to say, and you were gonna listen if I have to, like, lightning lure you again.
You don't have to do that. Speak.
So the path that you were on, or one very like it, apparently leads to one of your daughters dead and one of your daughters evil and killing much of the city. So you might think about that path before you make choices now in hopes that you don't have to do that again. I mean, I'm not planning to turn evil, but apparently it's possible. So maybe you want to think about your choices. And then she's going to try to make drop and, like, telekinesis up to see if she can see the other Skaha on top of or around the dreadnought.
Okay. The Skaha goes, get. She looks at the others. Like, the kids are, like, looking at her, like, and then she gives them a glare, and they're like, ah.
So I'm just gonna hand Caliph an inkwell. So he has an inkwell and a quill because he uses it to write his songs. And then he like dumped out the ink, precipitation, the rest of the ink out, and he's like, "Here's your container."
So now she's got like damp herd dust.
Oh no, he scraped out the rest of the ink with precipitation.
Oh, okay. So it's like completely dries it. Okay. It's just funnel it in.
Sturge, make a dexterity save, please.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Okay. Stong prestidigitated the ink out of the bottle. It just comes whoop, and then shoo. But Sturge, you lean your head out of the way and it hits the wall behind you.
Sorry, buddy.
Incoming.
One of these days, you're gonna roll a 1 and it's gonna be hilarious. Anyway,
So,
Okay.
what do we do now?
Sorrow is groaning in the street where you left her.
I think you should unleash another chain and truly unleash the beast. Artemisia, do you know what happened to Tsetseliya?
The goal. Well, she's like. Going
Yeah,
away,
she's
but
up in the sky.
She was saying before, in her ranting, that the Golden Raven grabbed her and Sarshan, and she
And
doesn't know where they
that-
went.
Okay, then I think we should, when she returns, she should find that her beast is no longer hers and is free. I think that's a good goal. Still a worthy goal.
The last astral dreadnought we encountered, we jumped into its mouth, and it took us somewhere else.
So maybe Lazar's not dead.
hmm
Jump into this one's mouth.
Saw tomato juice. Maybe he's okay.
Or maybe he's only like slightly mangled,
Mhm.
and he's sort of laying somewhere in the midst of it.
Maribel says, hey, not dad.
Yes, not daughter.
What do we do about this one? And Sorrow's like,
You might be better answering that. We don't really know this one. The one we know is rather disagreeable, but not dangerous particularly. This one is mutated and rather deranged.
Artemis says, I could kill her.
We
And Regan goes,
You.
don't do that. And Laythok is like, that's not such a bad idea. And Mirabelle says, I mean, maybe we need answers from her.
I was hoping that by smashing her mask, she would not be deranged any longer, but she did continue to fight, although that's possibly because we just smacked her around a lot. But neither one of these maskless witches really were very helpful, were they?
What a stunning observation, Pseudo-Master, Laythaka says.
Do any of us have any dispel magic?
I mean, Artemisia does, but
Oh,
not there.
What? Oh, I see.
Yeah, Artemisia, you floated up there and you're looking to see if you can see where that orb is or any sign of Skaha, but you're not seeing any.
And
Too bad Rogar isn't here with his calm emotion.
Well, Sturge will go over to the what's her name, Raging Sorrow, and see if he can get her, kind of wake her up and sit her up and say and speak gently, and so she doesn't like come awake suddenly in a rage, but and just see if he can lift a drink to her lips and maybe even a potion of healing, and see if she
Okay.
can be reasoned with.
All right, so you can give her a healing potion, and that will get her back to basically 1 hit point.
Are
And
you-
her eyes flutter.
Hello, we don't really mean you any harm. We removed that mask hoping that would help you. Are you feeling better?
Oh, the magician. I thought you were well served to hide your face from us. Still alive, I see. Oh, and all of your children, too. Amazing. Oh, stung. Hello.
Hi. So Dom's gonna point up in the sky, and he's gonna be like, "Do you know what this is? What's happening?"
The mistress's steed?
This is what?
Steed?
Her mount.
Beyond that, the clouds.
Oh. So she sees the clouds sweeping in. And she says, oh, she...
Oh,
She did it.
who did what?
Ah, your little witch betrayed all of you.
Tsetseliya would never. And then Stom thinks, would she?
Betrayed? In what way do you think she betrayed us?
She took the mistress's deal.
How do you know?
Because it has happened before, and it will happen again.
I
And
would.
now all of you are but echoes of a world that is gone.
Are you telling me that our Westgate is gone? Or are you just talking metaphorically?
I don't know where you came from, but that branch has been clipped.
Oh my god.
Welcome to reality. I need a drink.
Oh my god. Stom thinks about his Mirabelle, and he like punches the building behind him.
Okay, you're still
No!
Donkey Stong, right? You
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
hole in the building.
Mm-hmm.
The
It
whole
lasts for like an
building
hour.
actually collapses.
Artemisia is gonna set Mitzi on like a search pattern to see if like maybe Mother of Ratskaha fell to earth somewhere, and then she's gonna come back.
Yeah, I think with that punch, I think Stong shrinks.
Does Sturge looks over at our Skaha and says, "This doesn't affect your ability, does it? I mean,
Skaha is having a conversation with Reagan, and she's like, for the last time, I am not your mother. She looks back over to you. She says, my abilities they remain.
right,
It'll take me some time to conjure that spell again.
right.
Goodness. Wait, so if our other Westgate has been clipped off,
It hasn't.
okay.
Skaha can take us back. She's the dream is no longer relevant. She has abilities that will take us.
Are you suggesting that the world we came from no longer exists? Skaha says. That might
I
explain
can see.
the turbulence during our transit.
What? Does Artemisia, she arrives, no longer exists? What?
Stong
No,
hands her
wait,
a quick cheat sheet to catch her up on the events.
Wait, is that why? Okay, it's not Caleb asking me. Is that why they could get hurt and not get snapped back to the other?
I think the reason that they can't get hurt or that is because they've been here too long. That's one of the stipulations of the dream spell.
But
Yeah.
we haven't been here for the full duration.
Are you certain?
Well, Lazar was gonna say, and he didn't, but then he was busy being eaten by astral dreadnoughts. So
That is kind of distracting. Sorrow says, yes, deny it as much as you will. The previous yous did as well.
But wait! Rogar is in the other Westgate.
Hmm.
Then
Oh, no.
your friend is gone.
Or
Oh my god.
I don't
You
know.
are not telling the truth
Not
or mistaken.
Jesus.
Stong's gonna punch
I
the building
could
again.
be mistaken. Do I look like intelligence is my strength? No,
think so.
Honesty of the-
The
strength
previous-
is my strength.
the previous us, like the Bronze Devil and all that, like, are those the ones you're talking about?
No. Smashed your pretty little skull a couple of times, Artemisia. I could do it again, just come a little closer. And Skaha
I
says,
still have
that
my
will
cameras.
not happen.
Okay.
And Sarah's like, oh, you brought one of those.
I
Oh,
think we need answers. And like the best way to get answers is if we find Tsetseliya,
Mhm.
right?
Well, we should regroup at Briar House. I mean, I guess this Skaha can come because maybe she can get us out of here if there's somewhere to go. But we should go back to Briar House. I've got Mitzi looking for the mother of rats.
I'm gonna go free the other chains first.
Mm.
Because I really hate the idea of this creature, even if it's an astral dreadnought, chained up here like that.
Sarah, that's a great idea. Bring another calamity down upon Westgate. It can always use another one.
I mean, it can already attack Westgate from where it is.
Not when my mistress is here on hand to keep it calm.
We're mostly interested in doing anything that makes your mistress uncomfortable, so we'll go right ahead with that.
Very well. Most of the irregulars have always tried to save the city, not destroy it, but have at it.
We're an
It
off-brand
doesn't
shoot.
look like there's much worth saving. It doesn't look like there's much worth saving here, anyways. So,
That one, she has a good head on her shoulders. You're right. There is no resistance. It is inevitable.
Don't go that far.
All right.
I mean, so the
Kill me if you wish. There will always be another, and another, and another.
Should we kill her?
no,
I want to free her of her control. But
Can-
well, Artemisia
Your
can do a dispel
mistress?
magic,
oh yeah, try it, please.
so she'll do that.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to roll a dispelling check, please.
Did the removal of the mask do nothing to free her mind?
She's acting much differently from what she did before.
Okay, yeah. So she was pretty wild before.
Oh, rolled pretty good. So that's 25.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So, essentially, you reach in, psychically, arcanely, and find this just tangle of enchantment spells all over her, and you start unraveling them, and you rolled pretty well, so you basically remove several of the spells. You're not entirely sure if you got everything. Like, your magic is not, exactly exact,
Yeah.
right? But you did your best. And you come back out of it, and Sorrow kind of leans back against the wall, and she's like, I really need a drink now. Oh, my head.
What can you tell us about your mistress? Does she have any weakness? Does she keep her heart in the box?
Oh, Tsetseliya, what have you done to me? Oh, I owe you a punch in the face.
Let's
Did
see.
you say what had Tsetseliya done to you?
She looks around. She's like, you. She points at Artemis. Where's your sister? I owe her a punch in the face.
The witch queen, the golden raven, she took her.
Yeah. Punch. Face. What am I talking? Orc here? Punch. Face. Where? Oh, why do I hurt some? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Look, you've been through a lot. How about we take you back someplace safe so you can rest, and then we can talk.
And then she just starts like, and you can see that she just starts like crumbling in on herself.
Oh
goes
god,
like,
cure light wounds, cure light wounds.
No, it's not physical, it's
I know.
psychological.
Oh, I see,
okay.
I see.
It's just like, oh, what have I done? What have I done?
A rhetorical question.
And she just starts screaming.
Maybe we better knock her out for now, and then let her rest back to full physical and mental health.
Skaha strides toward her with her spear raised.
Maybe a little less permanent rest.
She's like, when an animal is suffering, you shouldn't let it suffer.
Would sleep work on her?
Yeah, that's a good call. Plus she's
I gotta
weak.
sleep.
She does only have
throw
one hit
herself
point.
forward and try and pin her arms down again.
Yeah,
Sounds gonna
Artemisia's gonna
step
cast sleep on her.
Between Skaha and Bro.
Okay, you kind of sleep on her. She falls asleep.
Okay.
Skaha looks up at Stong.
Skaha looks down at Skaha.
You know that I am only being merciful. You are the ones prolonging her suffering.
Your definition of mercy is twisted.
Yeah, like your definition of love. Anyways, back to Briar House.
Punch face here.
Get her! Get her!
All right, well, to her credit, She says nothing else, just retreats. Okay. And now that Sarah is sleeping and unconscious and just totally incapacitated, she's not going anywhere. She kind of like shrinks again and becomes just kind of a normal sized person.
Is she still Minotaur-like, or is she more like herself?
Yeah, she's still mutated and deformed in that respect, but she becomes smaller, vulnerable almost, while she's very vulnerable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we should get her back to the mansion, and then we take care of these chains later. We still need to always be here.
Yeah, well, I think we need to sort of consider. I agree that we want to set the Astro Dreadnought free, but it is a good point that we don't want it to rampage. So I think we should consider how we can set free and like chase away or whatever, so that it doesn't come back on the city.
Yeah, like we put a stick on its head with like something that it wants at the end of it.
Like a carrot.
A carrot. Point it to the sky.
Okay, well, you pick up the slumbering Zorro to head back to Cedar Briar House, and I think that's a good place to say that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for coming with us on this increasingly dark and twisted journey. I may have just destroyed the Forgotten Realms. I just want everyone to know. Tune in next time to find out what has really happened. Hopefully. I have been Eric Scott DeVee, the DM of this campaign. I love horror in my games too. It's great. Check out the Discord if you want to be part of the Westgate campaign guide. But what does it matter anymore? Westgate isn't there anymore.
We'll fix it. It's fine.
And on that note, take it away, Rhiannon.
Okay. I don't remember entirely what Aaron usually says, but I've been Rhiannon Held. Check out our sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, at idlechampions.com. And we are all authors of varying kinds, and many of us have books of lots of different genres that you should check out. Dungeonscrawlers.com has something from all of us. My latest is the space opera series. The combo volume of the first 4 novellas is called Idyllian, and that's out now. And tonight, thank you to our moderators, Shay, Myrdug, and Celdry.
Hi, I'm Yang Wang. So right after this, we're going to raid another channel. If somebody has a channel that they want us to raid, please, please, please put it into the chat, and we'll just line that right up.
Nice.
I'm going to talk about the charity that we have highlighting for the month. So foodlifeline.org. Food Lifeline believes that access to food is a human right and that nobody deserves to be hungry. Food Lifeline provides nutritious food to hundreds of thousands of people facing hunger every year by sourcing nutritious food from a variety of food industry partners. They distribute the food through a partnership with over 300 food banks, shelters, and meal programs, and that enables them to provide about over 134,000 meals every single day.
Wow.
And for the month of October, we are going to donate half the proceeds from any subscriptions or whatever monies that we get from Twitch to this charity at the end of the month. So if you want to support us, support the charity, please, please, please give us a sub. Thanks. Also, if you hate ads and don't want to see ads anymore.
Yeah.
I'm Stephen Merlino. Please check out our past videos on our YouTube channel, linked on our Twitch page below. Be sure to check, subscribe also to support us, and the bell to get notified as we add new content.
I've been Emily Ting. Thank you all for watching us and letting us do fun things like Final Fantasy X, our way down a giant chain.
Yeah. I got a little Battle Angel Alita vibes too.
It's a trope and it's great. Well, Randy's not here to close us out. We're missing our anchor, who is now lost somewhere between the planes. So the party continues over on our Discord. We're going to be raiding another channel. Stick around, give them some love. And otherwise, we will see you next time. And until then, stay scrawly.
you.